Okay, everyone, take two. I'll wait for a few moments to allow for some of you to join. Thank you. With the weather report during Croatia, it's been a very beautiful, warm day, perhaps somewhere between 15 and 20 Celsius, so that is great. Come in, Susan and Donald Herman, my president, wife Mark, Alberta. I haven't seen you, Don, and Marge for a while. Intense energies, Don. Ivy says, yeah, Don. With that, I'll make the comment that I've been getting double messages, a couple double posting because of a couple different timelines over the last several days. So I've been working on two different timelines that are very close. So yeah, intense energies, lots of good stuff going on. Okay, am I stabilizing now? Helen said I was broke up. Still glitching. No audio for you, Paul. Hung joined. Hi, Hung. So, well, this is too glitchy, everyone. We'll just cut it off. It's not great. Great. Working okay now. Okay, some questions. Hey, Simon Bolts. Woo! From New York, and we visited, Sharon and I, and Simone visited us in the physical. Very powerful, divine, feminine, and very impressive as well. I just love everyone. We have a great opportunity of meeting ones in the physical, and it's always so much more when you do that. It's beautiful, impressive to see word and shining the light. It's so beautiful. Okay, a little bit blurry. Okay, if I don't move too much, it may not be blurry. So, having said that, I'll scratch my nose. Okay, any questions? We'll have it as a Q&A. While I'm waiting for questions, I will say we create by our beliefs, and the stronger you become, it's more important to pay attention to your beliefs. So it's that is very important. And Simone says she's in Nebraska. Wow. Good stuff. Back to that location. Good. Excellent. Good to know you're there too. As well, many of us are doing very important energy work that you may not be consciously aware of, that you may be oblivious, but as we know, everywhere you go is important. You may go somewhere and really think you're there for a reason, but you are, especially the stronger ones with your energy. You make such a difference. So it's beautiful. Yeah, so many horns blowing today here, the confirmation and indication of perhaps on Christmas Day. So let's see what occurs with that. So questions? Okay, here we got Paul Handwriter. Hi, Paul. Met Paul at Okotoks, south of Calgary, Alberta. June or July. Good to see you, Paul. He asks, what's the best way to rapidly release the old energies from our past 3D selves? So intense most days now. Well, one of the biggest things, Paul, is when powerful ones, when they began this ascension journey and the a lot of times they have help of being relieved from the material things. Because with material things, there is an energetic attachment. So it's best that you keep material things very limited in your space. Then that assists with not bringing back lower dimensional memories as you empower yourself to the level that you are able to quickly, if a past memory comes in, if you don't see any value, you just push it out. So it's a sort of process, and you work upon it the more you get. So the best way to rapidly release is to train the brain, Paul. Know that in is you do in the now and going forward. Everything that happened in your past lifetime here happened for reasons, and you're to take the value from it. They were at the highest level. It was part of your soul's experience at this time, in this great time, to master the lower density experiences, to master the negativity. So, if you will, you are actually training yourself through your entire life to be prepared for this time. So, you take the value from those experiences, and by knowing this, and continue forward. Also, with the negativity, it's very important not to have any negative emotions from the past. Understand again, you're part of your transition, and just hold on to you don't even need to hold on to the good memories as well. It's good, but however, if you have a bad memory, just change it to the good, is what I suggest. And also, if you begin to get memories, one thing to very quickly do to break the 3D chatter from the memories is just to push them away and do several things unpredictably in your surroundings, get your mind off of it, and change the focus of the train the blank brain to do this. Thank you. Yeah, Susan Johnson says, sing. Yeah, another works, Suzanne, to sing. And whatever works as well. There are so many ways, and the correct way for everyone is the way that they choose. So you don't need to complicate it as well, thinking that there's only one way, because many ways to do one thing. The more that you'll tend to restrict yourself, the more stagnant you'll become with your growth. It's very important to keep an open mind, and then the answers more readily come to you instead of you needing to run out with your sneakers and your shopping bag searching for them. You can sit at home and they'll come to you. Hey, Robin Howard and Colleen, woo, girl, way to go. Beautiful stuff, Colleen. Just very powerful and excellent. And by using the power of the crystals, indeed very very real. And having said that, anyone at this time, if you need a little bit of energetic boost in standing up and doing anything, don't forget your charged crystals. You're more, let's say, you're more connected to them now than ever because your physical vessel has also increased its crystallinity or its crystalline structure, if you will. You don't really need them, but there are times that if you feel you do, that yeah, use them. Whatever works. So we don't, again, I wish to say that you don't need them because you don't. However, there's sometimes on lower timelines, it's great to have an extra tool when you're doing very important work. Okay, so any more questions, anyone? I don't see anything. I'm just moving my connection to see if I can make it better here with this. Yeah, Brandon says, look into the universal laws and how one can assess one's daily routines. Exactly, this is part of coming more into your power, understanding how it works, and understanding how to create on a much larger level, and to be able to participate without creating events instead of creating just in your own little reality. Now you have the ability to uh, connect with others and create as a whole, and it has a much broader impact on these realities. So it's great, looking and learning of just what abilities you have and what you can do. And the law of one, indeed. I believe that the law of one is from Ra, and many good, valuable things in that area, as well as, many of the not so important. Hi, Linda Caraway, Wonder Woman, aloha. So, one of the videos I put up from Greg Braden again and again, he's an amazing, knowledgeable individual, divine one, and much good things come from Greg, and also pointing out the church and all of its deception, intentional deception, and also putting the emphasis on the intentional patriarch, if you will. As the divine, if the divine masculine is not the patriarch, it was these ruling patriarchs that were not divine masculine that did this. So, as we all know, and divine masculine were suppressed by this patriarch ill intent, and that is the reason why so many of us are here now in this time. So the truth as part of your knowledge and your briefing on what occurred here, so that you know what needs to be rectified, what needs to be energetically worked upon, and so on and so on. And Simone, crystal dimensional beings around you, which is beautiful. I know they always are. It's amazing. And I can attest, and I have witnessed some of you has all. And Simone says the light assists in the light bodies. Totally, indeed. So much goes on within these physical vessels during the changeover. And Brandon put out good information there in a comment. I won't read it all because it takes up, it slows down my feed. The law of one is how it begins. The law of one is the comprehension that all things are made of intelligent energy, which is true. But it's important to state that in these times we are detaching from anything lesser than that, which is the lower dimensional intelligence, which is really not that smart, which is what the dark ones in the cabal are made out of. Brandon asks, says, Rick, you don't have to answer unless you have already, but what is your current location? My current location is near Varazdin, Croatia. That's close to Zagreb, Brandon. We have, I and two other divine masculines have done very what we know very important energetic work preparing for this 12-12 portal, if you will. We began before and having everything divinely energetically attuned and in perhaps something that could come within the matter of a few days. So yeah, I don't need to ramble on. And hey, Trent Pye, good to see you, my friend. Much love to you. And also Laura, thank you. So Simone Boyd says she had posted a light transmission. Yeah, if you don't mind, Simone, send that to me perhaps later. Thank you. Brandon asked, doing grid work? Yes, doing energetic grid work. With I, at least everywhere I go, I'm always doing something energetically connected to the grid. What I will say, since I arrived in Europe, was mostly doing that, doing a lot of preparation work, energetic work with groups, individuals. We have done extensive energetic work here, preparing for this very time, what has come. And yeah, it's always ongoing with I. And Brandon, you say you foresee us crossing paths. It may very well be, brother. You know, I'm not given all of the information. I'm only given information as I need it on a need-to-know basis. And you know, it's very beautiful though too to for I, so I don't become so bored to the little details. And so I get pleasant surprises all the time, which is great as well. Thank you. And Maria Marshall, lots of love to you as well. And my cousin's divine partner, Maria, Nova Scotia, Halifax. Much love. And yeah, and Trent, Laura says hi, and thank you, Trent. My friends, Nova Scotia as well. Okay, so do we have any questions here on anything specific if we're still rolling good? No, it appears everyone is pretty quiet, so I believe I'm still rolling. Well, this is great. I don't see any questions, so maybe we can wrap this one up soon too. As I said, I may put out a update tonight or within the next few days. And Lily Pazavec. Hi, Lily. Lily attended our gathering here in Croatia, and we have met a couple times in the physical. Another beautiful, divine one, of course. You know what I wish to say is in Croatia, I have met of divine ones here. And as I mentioned previous, I was impressed with the first time that Sharon and I came to Croatia and met her. Very impressed with their prowess and their state of uh, their heart. But what I'm trying to say here, or what I will say, is that uh, in Croatia, what I've seen, so many are so powerfully in their heart, with their heart chakras activated, putting out such a huge difference. And when, as soon as I feel someone's heart chakra is activated, that's immense power because that is the seat, what I consider of our divine prowess here. And when we're all like that and we all get together, we create such beautiful, good things like the pink skies. I saw the pink here tonight again. Leon brother from Slovenia. He was attended the gathering on Sunday of this morning pink and a couple places pink sky. And that's the elevated energetic love energy, and we're divinely allowed uh, through visualizing it as a confirmation also of our energetic work that we do and our effects on reality and what we create. Okay, I get some questions come through. Thank you. Asked, will I have any gathering in Halifax, Nova Scotia? Uncertain, Maria, going on as more so always a day-to-day basis, unless I'm given a long-term tentative plan. At this time, I'm told I need to go to Jerusalem, and that is only what I'm looking at right now, to go there and await instruction for whatever I'm to do while I'm in Jerusalem. And I will say that I'm a very huge and powerful influence upon the collective, the Christ collective consciousness. So therefore, uh, before I began this work here, like this several years ago, I had to take a very important uh, divine decree while in this human vessel to assure that the truth of the timelines would be blocked and would only be allowed to enter the Christ collective at the divine timing. So, as a result of that, uh, divine things are released incrementally upon the right frequency and vibration of our timeline. So it is divinely assured that even though I know the whole script, have all of the information, that it's assured that it's only released per basis of what needs to be done and how it needs to be done. So my inner knowing is all intact. My ascended master abilities is all intact, and that divine knowledge, it's just that with what I do, where I need to go, who I need to see, I'm given that in different ways and many times. And what I've noticed over the last couple of days is that my instruction and messages is coming through some of you for me as well, because we're all divinely connected, and this is the way that it is supposed to be. Anyways, I get rambling and rambling. And Mate, I love you, brother Matthew. He says, thank you for sharing Goddess Danu transmission. Yeah, I shared a post. He says, important for Sarah and I. Yeah, beautiful. I kind of felt that it may be of some benefit, and that's from Irish, and we're bringing back a lot of the mystical, beautiful elemental kingdoms and the fairy realm, and every opportunity that I have, I love to mention about the fairies, interact with them, and open portals to when I am allowed back into this dimension. And it's always such a beautiful feeling and energetic experience when I do that. It's always just so gratifying. I love that. Well, thanks, Matthew. Okay, just scroll and see if we get any questions here. Hey, Dale Marshall. Hey, thank you, and Sister Raw, for letting me stay in London in England. I stayed there overnight, and I thank both you so much. Dale, I wish I would have had more time to stay there. We had so much that we needed to speak about, or that we could have spoken about. However, I'd got called to go to the Glastonbury tour and also Stonehenge. It was time to do divine work, so I had to leave there. What I was feeling prematurely, but it was the divine timing has the priority over what I do, and I'm fully surrendered to the divine mission, and that's what I follow. I don't speculate on where I need to go. I don't decide where I need or where I go, and I ask if I do decide to go to somewhere, I get a confirmation on if I'm supposed to go there or not, and that's what I abide and by and what I obey. Tracy Clark says Christ consciousness is so unbelievably strong. Credible visions. Yeah, thank you for this, Tracy. I'm and others that it's been very elevated, more so over the last bit, and I'm seeing huge advancements in others as well. And it's just amazing to see the feedback. Yes, and a few weeks ago, the comment, the 100th monkey had been met, and just so very true. We are together at this time. We are so powerful at changing everything upon the surface right in this now. But again, the key is the unity of all. There is a little bit of separation in groups yet, but when it needs to be, we will all come together if it needs to be. However, again, we are geographically and strategically, divinely, strategically placed all around Gaia to serve important energetic purposes as well, to integrate through us important energetics and divine information that gets redistributed outward from your general vicinity as a very important divine reason for that. However, with things like the internet and we can all connect in these great times. So a great blessing there. Thank you. So, and Latifa says, just wondering what will happen in December 26, 2019. On December 26, 1680, there was a comet shower in the Europe sky. Yeah, we'll see what occurs here on the 26th. Latifa. What I'm feeling is that there's something significant ready to occur also, but I'm also given the 21st, so without what that may be. I know we are setting up, hopefully it's perhaps the big flash on, before then or on those dates. I'm not given exactly, but something big is occurring for sure. With everyone becoming empowered to the degree that I've witnessed over the last week or a little bit more, I know that it's hugely impacting our realities here in very good ways. And again, nothing can stand, nothing lower dimensional can stand in the way of the higher positive divine prowess that each of you contain. So it's beautiful. Troy M. Ham, he says, I am hearing and seeing so much in regards to love. Thank you, Troy. Yes, and it's becoming more widespread, which is beautiful to see, and it's part of the Ascension. It also says divine energy work, grid laying for what is to come. Thank you. What is this said is to come? Yeah, we could say it's in the now. And that way we bring it more concretely and quicker into the now by suggesting it is to come. We could keep prolonging it where we're creators. It's best to say that it is in the now, and so it is a suggestion. Just trying to scroll on my comments, see what else. Troy, your comment got rolled up, but that's okay. If I need it, I'll come back. Dale, Stonehenge, I will request white light, send collective energy to the heart chakra. This might cause the tectonic plates to shift. Yeah, actually, Dale, I'm there, so that means it is significant, and yes, whatever goes on with that, what you're for that, you're going by your divine instruction you're given. Beautiful. Excellent. Valerie Adams says she was just told in the shower to start journaling and to not do anything that is not guided. Excellent. They asked me if I trust, and I said completely, is what Valerie Adams said. Then I came to your live. Well, another confirmation. Yeah, I strongly agree with that. Excellent. Excellent. Indeed. So perhaps you came here for another confirmation in the least. Beautiful. Yeah, begin your journaling and whatever you're divinely given to do and instructed to do. Excellent. So I'm scrolling down here, and it jumps as I scroll, so I know I'm going past some questions. So um, I'm right at now Dale Marshall again. Our brothers and sisters. A comment right now. So if there's questions that I didn't ask, please. And with that comment, Dale, yes, it was an interstellar portal is what was activated there as a Stargate. That work was the information that I received. So very important. So that Stargate portal is now open for further sightings, but also further interaction in that area as well to the west, southwest, westerly direction up there, 2 kilometers, 1.6 miles around that area, wherever that may be. That information, those miles I just received, that divinely come in as a message. It may pertain to you, Dale, or it could pertain for someone in the future or all in the future. That just come in, and I just put it out there. So if it's of any value, it's good. And Rob Willis says, when we all introduce ourselves saying, "Hi, I am," this is the name God said to Moses. We are in the I am. Yeah, Rob, this is so important. And, one's getting prepared for this great ascension. Part of that process for some was being subjugated to extreme fear and dark events, and everyone does rise out of it. But one of the most significant things, once they rise out of that and come into their divine power, knowing, and authority, to retain that divine power and authority, they need to own it, to proclaim it out there, to share with the other creators, and proclaim it outward and connect with the other creators here. It enhances everyone so much more. So no, don't stay in the closets. Don't hide under the rocks. It's so important that we have everyone out standing together, holding hands, if you will, shining their light. Everyone is important, in the days where ones would quietly perhaps sit in their home and do their energetic work. It wasn't valuable for those times, but again, we have reached such a level where everything's different here now, and you can more eagerly and more beneficially assist by connecting with the others. And if you feel you're Mary Magdalene, say that. if you feel you're Jesus, say that. And because when we become one, back with God and all of the deity or the divine ones, then actually you can connect and you can be a Jesus and beautiful Merlin and archangels and all of this. It is really true, because once you connect on that energetic level with the smallest particle, you are indeed can be all of the ascended masters and what have you. So that is important. But again, there is the steps to get your divine energy while you're still in the humanoid form up to those levels to be able to do that. So great. Yes, we are all Christs. And I said that because I knew that at our last gathering we had 21 there. And it's because we are. And there was even a 11-year-old a female child there. And, I included all, because we all are aspects of the Christ and of the Creator. And it's perfectly okay to outwardly own that. If you sit in your closets and in your houses and never say that you're here, or let others know, well, nothing changes much. But what I will say, it changes much quicker when we all unite, and we are in these times. So, great. Okay, I'll see if there's any more questions. How's the feed going? Or identify as a non-human. Drop the labels. Well, Hung, I do find the higher labels important for one, for them to be able to own their divinity. But it's also, say, it's equally important for one to just be them. And when I was waiting, I asked the Father, what do I do? Go around wearing sandals and a white robe. And what Father did, he smiled at me, kind of laughing at me, and said, just be yourself, Rick. So what you're saying, Hung, also holds true. And, that's what, and I've said this several days ago. Someone asked who I was, and I said, I'm Rick, with a smile. So, yeah, it's important as well. Bring this up is, no, one needs to own their identity. It's not egotistical to own that great identity. You will disempower yourself if you do not own your power. And so, it's a choice with who does that divinely. However, I do know that more and more will be openly proclaiming their divine authority, because it needs to be for the new timelines here upon the surface, because many of those will be going into extreme levels of authority and, let's say, in the least governmental positions here. And it needs to be known what their abilities are, what their capabilities are, and that they are of the divine light. So, and that's for, this transition with the 4D into the 5D. Thank you for that, Hong. It's great seeing you here, and you always got great contributions. Everyone does, it's no one is wrong, and everyone adds to the whole, and it's great. Okay, Dale. Marshall says, I'm telling those in my presence now, Rick. Okay, thank you, Dale. Yeah, something about 2 kilometers to the west, like southwest, something about that area, and it's not treed there, it's part of the field, what I'm given. And it's something about being there at least at dusk. It's not in the daytime too, so whatever that means. So great. So any more questions, anyone? Rob Willie says true light comes, and then Rob, you say fake light says look how bright, smarter than you are. Could you elaborate a little bit on that? It's not fully clear what you're saying about the fake light. And, you know, in the update, we're at such a level with all of the advanced ones that the false light is easily discerned for what it is. It's divine intent and purpose for many. It's no longer needed. There, your discernment should be optimal by now. So Rob Willie says, tree of knowledge separates us from Creator. Now I'm uncertain what you're trying to say there, Rob. You know, I guess that depends on the perspective, what you're looking at. But for knowledge is power of the Creator in the individual. So again, I'm unclear at this moment what you're saying. If you wish to elaborate more, that would be great. Thank you, brother. And thank you for giving such beautiful, important things from Greg Braden that is able to share with others to you know, any benefit that it may be. So thank you. Much gratitude and love for that. And Dale Marshall says, yep, I know it well. That must be that I'm speaking about. When I was there, Dale, it was in the night, and I found a few roads, different areas, so I did not even visually see the megaliths or the monoliths, the stones, the structure. I was there for 3 hours in the night when I left. So it'd be interesting, yeah, to see the area. Thanks. Rob Willie says we need to stop competition. Totally. I agree, Rob. Competition is it's a fear action as well, and it's not about competing. It's about uniting and everyone together with mutual respect. Totally. Rob says, how can you think more highly than you ought? And pride comes before the fall. With that, Rob, you know, that's quite a subject on that. What I kind of yeah, I kind of disagree with that. You know, I always went with those sort of things before, you know, with modesty and this. However, what I've been divinely given is that you can let things and old adages and phrases like this restrict you of your power. And what it tends to do also, it tends to cause separation. Again, if you don't come out and speak your divine authority, ever knows you are there. And the keys to the puzzles is given to many, the keys and the pieces of the puzzle. So it's important to that for everyone to be free and speak your truth as well. Another thing is if you refrain from speaking your truth, can be a fear response, which is negative, and will have no restrictions and speak out. It's so important that everyone does. However, that is your thought. That may differ, and everyone is has their perception, and everyone is correct with it. So what I'm also saying is that you are correct for whoever that resonates with, but also I'm correct for whoever what I say resonates with. And we're not to judge each other, recognize everyone as being correct, for it would not even be in the realities if it isn't correct for the times that we are in. So saying that as well. And thank you for that important subject, Rob. It gave me more of an opportunity as well to expand upon what I was saying before. Rob says we all need to see the person in front of you as your reflection. And yeah, you can apply that to so many situations, which is true. Nadia says, are transition imminent because families are chaotic and many are ascending through the death process? Death doesn't exist, but just the process is bringing this asleep. Nadia, as we know, death does not exist, but one of the mechanisms when timelines are separating, uh, when ones are going higher, because of the soul choice and part of this ascension. We will also see ones drop off of that timeline as well, appearing as death, but still alive on the lower timeline. Just that we have separated, or they have separated, vice versa. And both things are both correct to look at that. And it goes a lot deeper than this as well. And yeah, um, I wish to say, but there are things that were put in that were prophesized, and one of the things is the rapture. And if you really look at the rapture and the ascension and raising one up, each of you will know that is here that you had to do inner work to so much more to even be here. And also you may look in the outside world for that how perhaps others do not come along, at least in this now, and you may see them leave the time of death. So thank you. So just trying to scroll down. So Linda Hicton says, what do you think of people who are so needy to get attention that they think up anything or use others' bits and pieces of other stories to get attention to themselves for their own story, and yet they care not of others' feelings or trauma? Well, what I think of those people is that they still, perhaps have things to do inside. But again, there's many perspectives of looking at these ones as well, because everyone does play a role in advancing things forward. So, even though they may be using others' bits and pieces to get attention for their own story, that they are still producing a certain benefit out there for others. And again, Linda, it's each one goes with their own heart what resonates. At times it may be great, that you're getting some information, and then other times when it does no longer resonate, then that is one's cue to perhaps move along. But it's good to perhaps not pass a lower judgment or to degrade anyone that is, sincere and genuine with that. And so, you can look at that more than one way anyway. And yet they care not of others' feelings or trauma. Yeah, well, it's perhaps a selfish thing that they need to become aware of in their own. And and thank you for it reminds me of something that I wanted to say in the live. Again, I had thought about earlier today, so it reminded me of that. And what I wish to say is perhaps over the last several days again, you will see that I am sharing others' work and others' posts. And this is so important as well, because others have important messages and divine information. So by sharing all of this with all of us, we are better informed. And it's so impressive as well sometimes when I don't need to write something up that another has received the information, they have it written, then very quickly I can share it with others as well, good, accurate information. So it's always great, for I information, and having said this, I could daily fill my Facebook timeline up with amazing posts from others. And however, I tend to keep it limited when yes, I share others' information because it's so important with that. And also you will see that I'm receiving important information in private messages, like from Rob Willie's very beautiful enhancing videos, and information from Greg Bray. I'll put courtesy of Rob, and tonight April Johansson in private message. She had sent me some very beautiful, good, important work. So I shared that and I credited her for it as well. So thinking of this, Linda, when you come across anyone that is, sharing these things as well, also suggest for them to, credit the source where it comes from. And that also creates more connectivity with the divine ones as well, even though they may have some things they need to get over another point about one. It's the point about many and how we can assist many. So I will, in that situation, I would tend not to look at just um, one individual trying to get attention. What I would look at is the value that they are creating. Although they have an issue with them, if they're sharing good things that's getting looked at by many, then look at the light of what they're doing, is what I suggest. Thank you. Naja says those asleep are bringing low frequencies because of families separating through the death process. Yes, Naja, and you know, and that does occur, and it's the ones like you to remain in there and share your light, your compassion, and in whatever way that you can console from the positive and viewpoint and perspective with that. You know, I wish to just refer to when we were in Muskoka going there towards the Bosnian pyramids, what I could feel from the frequencies there was low because of the intentional war that was created here in Yugoslavia, and it does have a great effect on areas. And as we know, this is also why the dark created the wars as well, to keep everything negative. And I do know the effects that can have at times. Thank you. Hello, Griselda Lou. My pronunciation may not be very great with that. Looks like it may be Spanish, but hi, good to see you. Thank you, Linda. Pauline Mahan Conway, woo! Good to see you, girl. So Pauline, she lives in Dublin, and I stayed at Pauline's place, I believe, for 2 nights. She is an advanced shaman in the least, and we had some, yeah, a divine spirit, and that was very. Just to share quickly with you, Pauline and I were at the table. We were waiting for Brother Dragon to join. We were having a gathering, and so we began to connect with Patrick that Pauline was familiar with, and it was cool. So my phone goes off, and I'm told to look at it quickly, and it says, in a comment, it says your brother is coming. So I look at it, and the doorbell rings, and it's Dragon. And there was another cool thing that also occurred there. But anyways, excuse me. Thank you, Pauline. Much love. And we got Richie Sonder. He'll be going live 12:30. 3 p.m. Eastern with Todd, if anyone cares to join. Thank you, Richie. Much love, brother. So it'll be a live coming up with Richie Sauter. Thank you. We never got there, Richie, yet, down in Arkansas. I know you were opening that healing center, and, there was a possibility for October. However, it got called over here, in Croatia with the divine plan. So we'll see what occurs in the future. It's very possible. Again, I'll mention that a gathering is now being in towards the end of March. So Kim Salisbury and Stacy Lewis, I believe, is Stacy Lynn Lewis is also two that will be putting post-it note and letting you know of that as well. It's possible I may be at that Florida one, but I feel I may, but I have not received anything divinely. So we'll see what occurs. And Griselda, luz. Luz is Spanish, means light. Woo! Hey, great. We love light. It's beautiful. And Linda says, thanks, Rick. I'm grateful for you and your truth. And thank you, Linda. And, you know, bringing these important things up, it always gives us, you know, more information and to expand on these. So everything is valuable. There is no end for what we and learning things. So thank you for that, Linda. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm going to get another cigarette, and I'm right at the bottom. I don't see any questions there, so I'll give a moment and come right back and see if there's any more questions. Okay, everyone, I'm back. So, any questions on anything? For those back in the U.S., I was divinely given today that part of the divine reason she is back there was to share physically codes, starseed codes, and light codes from others that were here in Europe. So she's interactions with others that will also pass it on. So as the term, many of you may be familiar with that, and you know, sharing the code carrier I am, actually we all are. And again, it's important that we come into physical proximity of each one's energetic fields as well. Things tend to go a little bit quicker with that. Hey, Fred. Fred John, how was the mushrooms this year, brother? I didn't get there. I've been busy doing other things. So great. I don't see many any other questions. I may just cut this one off. Okay, it looks pretty quiet there. So, love you all. Peace and lots of winks and good things coming for sure. And have a beautiful morning, day, or evening, wherever you're at. And of course, namaste. And let's see what happens. So, have a beautiful one. Rick out. Thank you for all the questions. It was beautiful.